everyone, and happy 2018. Happy New Year from Safari Live here in the Sabi Sands in South Africa. I am Noelle, and on camera I have Ferg. Happy New Year, Ferg. Ferg is saluting. Okay, so I'm super excited. As we were getting the vehicle ready, I could hear lions contact calling. So we are on the hunt for lions. We bumped into a couple hyenas, which I was really hoping would stick around for us to be able to show you, but they meandered off. It looked like one adult, and it looked like the older youngster from the den site that's not far from here. What I'm doing right now is I'm just looping around to get to where I hope some tracks are. We got some amazing rain last night. Oh my goodness gracious. Ferg and I just made it into the car park before the hail. I think we made it in maybe 5 minutes before the hail came. It was insane. Ferg's going like, thank goodness. It was insane. And the lightning came, and the thunder came, and then it poured down with rain, and we all did happy rain dances. And then as it was starting to lighten up with the rain, the sun was setting behind some of the clouds, and it was this gorgeous yellow color, and then it poured down with rain again. Oh, and Conrad from Tech managed to make a braai, so everything happened well. It went very, very well. I'm sorry we had to close the show early, but at one point Ferg and I were looking at this lightning going, oh my goodness gracious, we have to get out of here. But yeah, it was very good. So we're going to see if we can find these lions, and then we're going to see about Madame Thandi and her little cub. It's going to be excellent. And then hopefully in a little while, Ralph and Taylor will join us on drive. Scotty D is off this morning and then is going off on leave, and I'm also apparently going off on leave today for about a week, and so I will see you around the 9th or the 10th, and then I think this afternoon Tristan is here, and I think James is here, but I'm not sure. Oh, and Sebastian's coming back, and Vildy is here, which we already know, and Louise is here. Nikki's also going off on leave. We can't let Scott go on leave without Nikki going on leave. That would be mean. All right, so it's going to be a nice afternoon drive. Oh my goodness, we have a diker that's not running away. Oh, and as I say that, it runs away. I think that we got at least 20 mils of rain last night. I'm actually hoping it was a little bit more. And I'm sorry we had to end the show a little bit early with that lightning, but that rain was so needed. It was the most beautiful gift that Mother Nature could give us for the end of 2017. Thanks, Tony. Tony, you're saying you're happy to know the rain came. It made us all very happy. It's interesting. So I grew up in a temperate climate, and now I'm living in an arid climate. And there's something about the smell of rain, and then when the rain actually starts hitting the ground, I mean, it makes your whole day. It doesn't matter how wet you get. It's the most amazing thing. Rain is such a precious commodity out here. Indeedy do. Especially because most places work off of borehole water, which is similar to a well. And if we don't get enough rain, then there's not enough borehole water, and then we have nothing to drink or shower with or wash with, so it's good. Okay, I haven't picked up any lion tracks yet. I have a feeling that they're a little bit closer to the water hole, to the dam. So if everyone could keep an eye on the dam cam for me, that would be very helpful. And if you see anything on the dam cam, as always, just give a shout so Nikki can shout in my ear and I can zoom that side. I don't know if you guys can see in the road properly, but you can see actually where the water was flowing as we're driving slowly through here. You can see how is it gonna work? Ah, perfect. You see that? See how all of the soil has been moved across from the rain. And it's going to be a scorcher today. I'm hoping the sun's not quite up yet. It's usually light sort of 20 minutes before the sun comes up, and there's no clouds in the way, and I can start to see a little bit of a pink coloration coming. So I'm hoping when we get around a couple more corners here, we're going to find a really lovely spot to be able to get that sunrise for you. Can actually No, boo! Mary, you're updating us. Thank you so much. There's that little bit of pink where the sun's going to come up. Mary, you're saying that the Dan cam's down because of the storm. All right, we're going to have to go on gut feeling then. Maybe, Nikki, move the FC to the damn wall. How about that? You guys can keep an eye on it. I have a mobile FC that we move around on like the back of a Unimog. I don't know if any of you know what a Unimog is, but I've seen quite a few people traveling across the continent in Unimogs, these huge vehicles. They can go absolutely anywhere. So there, I'm picturing an open-topped Unimog for you, Nikki, with FC in the back. That's where the sun's going to come up. Be truthful. You'd like to know which lions I'm chatting about, Sticks or Nkuhumas. Be truthful. I couldn't tell you at the moment. All lion calls sound the same. And especially when it's the low calls, the ooh, ooh. If it was big, huge, deep roars, the ooh, ooh, I would say the Burmese are probably around. But with this contact calling, it's very, very, very difficult to say who it could be. Could be female, could be male, could be Nkuhumas, could be Sticks. I have a feeling, because I could hear it from the northern side of our camp, that it's possibly the Burmese or possibly the Nkuhumas. I haven't really experienced the Sticks going that far north from us. They usually are more on the southern side. But look, it's 2018. Anything could happen. It's one line. All right, so the sun's not quite up yet, as you can see, but the colors are very beautiful. We can see that spot. I'm going to keep carrying on so that we can see what is happening out here in the book. Ooh, sorry guys, there we go. First stall out of 2018. I'm still waking up, apparently. And I didn't even go to bed that late. Yeah, it's one of those days, Ferg. It's one of those days. Okay. Now, I know that some of you have already experienced your Happy New Year for 2018, and I know that some of you are still in 2017 waiting for your New Year of 2018. So for those of you that have already done your 2018, and for those of you that are about to go into 2018, I would like to know what you did yesterday, what happened, what did you do, and then for those of you that are about to, what are you going to do? That would be nice to know. Sorry everyone, this is going to be a little bit slippery from all the rain. Hold on, and bumpy as well. Oh yes, we got some nice rain. Big stick. Sky, you're saying happy almost New Year to everyone from the East Coast. You have not, the East Coast of the States that is, you have not yet experienced New Year, but it's coming. Alright, there we go. And we're going to get to the top of the hill here, and we're going to see the most gorgeous sunrise. And then all I'm asking is that the lions pop out from wherever they are. This area on our right-hand side, the Nkuhumas like to walk through there. I've found them in there a couple times. Seen their tracks going in there a couple of times. We'll work this area nicely. I really would like some lions. And then I think Thandi's cub is in order. I think we need to see it one last time before Tristan gets back. We'll get one more epic sighting. Now, Ferg, do you want me to try and go up to the cut line, or what?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, we're going to try and go up to the cut line and get on a hill for this sunrise, because that's going to be hopefully our best view. The fire break road that I'm driving on now is not the best road. It's very bumpy and very eroded from the rain. So sorry for the back of my head. Oh, it was civet tracks. I got excited thinking, oh my goodness, we have a little leopard around, but it's a civet. After rain like this, when you know you're the only person out here on the roads, it's awesome because you're getting all of the tracks that you need to get. No one else has driven here, no one else has driven over where you need to be. Let's take this old 2-track across the way here. Alright, next we're almost to our hilltop view of our beautiful first sunrise of 2018. So Nick says that everyone's sending through their plans. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just checking around this little dam on the left-hand side that Nkuhumas sometimes go there. Sorry, Ferg, that was a bit too late. Now there's trees in the way. And there was a Birmingham mill that was seen in Torchwood, which is to our west, and then there was one that was seen up in Bifflesook, as far as I understand. And I'm not quite sure if that's the same one that was also seen with the sticks. And for some reason this morning I woke up and I was like, oh, it's warm inside my room, I won't bring a jersey, and now I'm really regretting my decision. That's okay. It'll be nice and hot shortly. Yeah, I think today is going to be one of those days where it's like 35 degrees. Bill, Sky, Jane, and Bonnie, as well as several others, say that you're going to be watching us. Well, that's fantastic. I'm really glad that you'll be with Ferg and I this morning. And an extra happy special New Year to all of you that are doing that. Where do you want me to go, Ferg? Forward. Ooh. Tell me when, Ferg. Alright, and Lady Starfire, you're saying Tesla and Benjamin had root beer floats and now Tesla's watching Kung Fu Panda. I like it. There we go. Sunrise. Good morning, good morning. There's frogs calling. There's birds going. Absolutely stunning. Good morning, everyone. Happy 2018. Guys, I can hear Aubrey trying to get a hold of me. So, as we're staring at our sunrise, I just need to do a little bit of housekeeping. Aubrey, Noella, Aubrey. That's beautiful, Ferg. Aubrey, Noella, Aubrey. Morning, Aubrey. Happy New Year. Did you hear those Ngala Kulumarine about a half hour, 45 minutes ago? Copy. I'm almost to that side. I'll be there shortly. right, everyone. Aubrey just wanted to let me know that some of the lions that possibly we heard have popped up around the boundary that we're on, but George Cheetah Cut Line, which is much farther west from us. So I think let's go and try and see if we can get any sighting of them, because I have a feeling it's the same ones we've been looking for. Oh, Djuma, that's very sweet. I actually just got a little tear in my eye. You just said happy 2018, and thank you for inspiring you to become a field guide. Of course, Ferg has to focus on that. Ferg, if I say I have a tear in my eye, man, we can't put that on camera. Djuma, I'm excited for you, and I hope that it works out, and then I hope you do well and have a nice long career. Oh, too much love this morning, everybody. Too much love. I love it. Okay, and we're away. Going to look for those lions. Oh, that was such a beautiful sunrise. Good morning, Johnny. Ooh, Paula, you're wondering what we're going to find for our team. Well, Paula, I'm hoping these lions stick around. I'm driving faster than I normally do to try and get that side. When we hear lion calls from where we are, our boundaries are actually not that far. So we really got to put foot. I'm hoping it's the lions, but if it's not the lions, I'm hoping then Thandi and the cub. Excuse my cough. I'm not going to count wildebeest or impala or dike or anything in our what do we find first. We see them all the time. We don't get to see lions as much as I like. Now, this was the direction we were hearing the calls from, kind of. It was actually a little bit more to our west. Now, the calls we were hearing were not full roars, so that's why they were closer to the northern side of camp as opposed to this far. So my thought process on all of this is that this is some of them and some of them are still in here. So let's work this little bit, work this sighting as best as we can. If they go too far to the east, we won't be able to see them, but I'm pretty sure Aubrey told me they're coming to the west from the corner there, which is good because the west means they're coming in our direction. And that's what we want. And then, yeah, I would like to know what all of you would also like to see for your first drive in 2018. I'm hoping when Taylor and Ralph get going from the Mara end that we manage to get some more on those cheetahs, because I know we haven't really been seeing any cheetahs. Did you see something, Ferg? Yeah, it is stunning, hey? We have had some cheetah sightings in our area around our boundaries, around our borders. We just haven't been able to get to them. So we do get cheetahs this side, just not as much. Now, I know that Scotty D is the king of cheetahs. Unfortunately, because he's on leave, I think we need to name someone in his place. So I think we should see this morning if it's Taylor or Ralph that's going to take over Scotty's role whilst he's on leave, and also whilst he's away from the Mara before he gets back up there to reclaim his crown. Morning, Debbie. Debbie, you're saying while we were listening there for a beat or two quietly at the sunrise, you could hear that woodland kingfisher, and you're asking me if the calls ever start to get annoying because they're around. You know what, Debs? As long as they're calling, it means it's proper summer, and I love summer. So no, I'm good with them. The red-chested cuckoo, the one, the peep my fro, peep my fro, peep my fro, I'm fine with, but there's always one that comes out at night because they think the light on some of the buildings is daytime. Or they possibly just think they're going to get the upper hand by calling forever. That one gets me a bit. But I think the worst calls for me are Egyptian geese that are fighting over territory. That goes on forever and is very, very noisy. And Hadida ibis. It's too much. They must relax. Monotonous. See, I dig a monotonous lark. Hey, Ferg's looking at me like, and the monotonous lark. A monotonous lark, the first time I heard monotonous lark was when I was working up in Northwest Province, and I was on a bushwalk, and it was a really magical bushwalk morning when we had great elephant sightings. And so whenever I hear a monotonous lark, that's the sighting that I think of. So yeah, not too bad with those, but everyone has their own thing. All right, little hornbill, I'm so sorry. We're gonna have to push you out the way here. Maurice, yeah, you're saying this is the 4th New Year's you've spent with Safari Live and that you hope that it carries on for many more years. Maurice, I say the same thing. We were actually chatting last night the difference between a bush New Year and sort of if you live in a city, because we have a few new people who have joined us and it's their first time living in the bush. I've been so lucky to been living in the bush for as many years as I have been, and our bush New Year's tend to be quite chilled out. We braai, we stand around, we chat, you're with your people, as opposed to going out to a club, say. And I have to say, I really enjoy a very chilled out New Year's. I don't need to go out. I could because I'm old, but I don't really need to go out and party. I enjoy just being around a couple of good friends and having a nice little bit of apple juice and just chatting. And I think that was the case for many of us last night. We had some good laughs. Ferg and I got soaking wet covering up the vehicles, and we listened to music, and it's good. It's very good. And then I, of course, was in bed early. I'm sure there was many others who were in bed early, and it's, for me, that or watching Safari Live or just being with anyone that you really care about is probably the best way you can spend New Year's. There could be disagreements, but for me, that's the best one. All right, where are these cheeky, sneaky lions? They're supposed to be here somewhere. Just keeping my eye out. That's a very big ditch from the rain. Ooh. Ali, you're asking if we could see an aardwolf this year for New Year's. I have never heard of aardwolf in this area, but yeah, you never know. Could happen. All right, everybody, I am where they should be. Just hold on. Ooh, Jared, do you want elephants chasing wild dogs around? I like that as well. I just want to check these tracks behind me. Aubrey, Noella, Aubrey. Obs, I'm up here, junction Cheetah Cut Line and Biffles Hook boundary. I've got one set of Ngala and Konzo, but it looks like they're fumbling into Biffles Hook. Is there someone with the Ngala now? Okay, copy. Thanks, Aubrey. Shawl, Noel, Shawl. Morning, Shawl. Happy New Year. Are you still with those Ngala, or have they moved off? Shawl, I'm with these in Konzo now. I had audio now about 45 minutes ago. I'm just going to get off the vehicle and have a quick look, and then I'll give you a call. Okay, guys. Y'all, Shawl, it was contact calling that sounded like the northern side of the dam. I didn't think they were up this far. It was just that very low oof, oof. So I think there's more than one that we're looking for. This male's tracks that I can see here is coming out of Torchwood and obviously moving down Biffles Hook Cut Line a little bit. I just want to investigate here, and then I want to listen, because it's possibly one male coming up from the sticks and then that other male coming in from the Talamatis. Copy, thanks. All right, everybody. So we have one vehicle that's going to be moving on the northern side here where we can't go. Then we've got us, and then we've got Aubrey that's coming up from Djuma, who's coming up from a different direction. I'm convinced that there's two here, and it's definitely Burmese, and I'm going to show you why. I just want to unplug and get out. Okay. Ferg, which tracks do you think are going to be best? Maybe this one? Okay, so we have a whole line of very fresh tracks. This is one, there's one of the Birmingham males, and you all will know better. He's got a funny little gimp in his right leg. I think it's the one with the dread, or the really old one. And there is his little gimp. It's here. There's the lobes at the back, and you can see there's a track here, track here, track here. And then the soil gets a little bit different, and also there was one or two vehicles driving here. So I just want to check around. I'm laughing to myself because I'm thinking about Scott's Scott's story he was telling all of you. Here, he's come north. Ferg, I don't know if we can see this far up, but this is just soil that's collected under his paws. And then he's going up. Oh, we can't follow you there. Doesn't mean he's going to stay up there, but he's moved up. So if he's moved up, and we were hearing contact calls, we weren't hearing full roars, I think there's another lion in by us. So I think what we'll do, I just want to update these guys so that they know what they're looking for. And then I think let's go scratch around for lions that we can possibly see. It's also because he's going to be marking his territory with all of this rain. So excuse me. Shalan, Aubrey, these Modora, Ngala, and Konzo from the junction, Cheetah cut line, Biffle's Hook cut line, Fumba north on that Intlela, north and slightly west. I'm going to redo Biffle's Hook cut line now, but I think whoever can traverse on that side would be best for going in. All right. Okay, so now we've left these tracks for these guys, obviously, and then he's gone up the road here, and we'll lurk. We'll be lurkers. What an interesting question. Anna, you want to know if I could have any animal as my sidekick? Who would I have as my sidekick? Now, Anna, are we only doing African wildlife, or can I pick? I'm assuming African wildlife. I think I've answered my own question. Oh my goodness. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, that whole series, that nice, beautiful C.S. Lewis series. And Aslan was always, I could always picture walking next to Aslan like the characters in the story. So I might be a big male lion, to be honest with you. That might be my sidekick. Also, no one would really mess with you. Not that people really mess with me often, but no one would mess with you if you're walking around with a big lion. Pretended to punch me. Pretended I'm holding air bunnies there. I just don't think he could reach me with his short little arms. It would probably be a big male lion. That's what I would say. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, Ferg says that his wildlife companion would undoubtedly be a honey badger. Honey badgers are tenacious. Tenacious. Yeah, they are hilarious. Ferg's gonna go with that. All right, little Burmese male. I don't want you to go out of Torchwood into Biffle's Hook. I want you to come here. Come mark your territory on the cut line, man. All right, we've got Aubrey coming up. So I just want to have a quick chat with him and just let him know what it is that I have found so that he can carry on and do his thing, and then we'll carry on and do our thing. Good morning, good morning. Happy 2018. Are you well? Morning, morning. He comes right to the junction there and fumbles north on that Inflela. And it's just that little bit of wet soil under his, but I can't do. So, good luck. If they come this side, give me a shout. All right, ta-ta, enjoy. I hope you see something amazing. All right, there we go. So Aubrey will go off. He will let us know if that one particular Birmingham male decides to come back away from Biffleshoek. I just, excuse me, a wicked cough today. I'm just going to now search for what I think is possibly our other Birmingham male. I want to go and have a look at Biffleshoek Dam. And then I actually want to pop back up onto the cut line, and I want to go down to Mvubu, which takes us to the northern side of the dam. It's my thinking for now. I might also just take the Firebreak Road, which is this beautiful road down here. Ooh, you've got a hornbill. Where, buddy? Oh, nice. Very nice. Up in the beautiful leadwood tree, dead leadwood tree. So I can hear the guys chatting. Those lion tracks are on Long Pole East, moving west. So he's actually not far from the Biffleshoek boundary, inside of Biffleshoek, moving west. So west is towards the direction where we're pointing now. We might actually lurk around the boundary more than I thought. But I'm actually going to say this. Let's do sort of 10 minutes of lurking around and looking for lions. If none of them pop up, either the one coming from Biffleshoek comes south or the one that's in our area moving north, and we don't pick them up, then I say we look for Thandi. I hope all of you agree. If any of you are disagreeing, you must give me a shout. I'm easy to do anything this morning. It's a very beautiful morning just to be driving around. But yeah, I would like the first drive of the new year. Oh, nice. Doing our little dance to involve lions. And possibly leopard. Okay. Checking the dam. And then we're away. Ooh. Amanda and Bethany, you're curious to know if I know how much rain fell on Djuma. I was actually saying to Ferg this morning, we really need a rain gauge. My guesstimate with how the roads look and the soil looks, and actually being out in some of it, I would guesstimate that we got over 20 mils. So I'm thinking 20 to 30 mils, which is not bad. Possibly more. If I had to pick a higher number, I would maybe say 60 mils, but I wouldn't go above that. It definitely came with force, and sorry guys, it's gonna be a little bit bumpy here. It definitely came with force, and it's that hail involved as well had to do with the heat coming through, mixing with that cold. And it wasn't big hail, thank goodness. It's a little hail like this, maybe marble-sized hail. We don't want bigger hail than that because our personal vehicles stand not undercover. So bigger hail than marble size would mean some not fun damage to our cars. Not these ones. The ones, the normal cars. Haven't heard any more contact calling. Remember that contact call that can go up to 4 kilometers. In the right conditions. But you can tell by the intensity of it roughly how far. Now, I would have guesstimated that the contact call that I heard this morning was no more than 1 kilometer away. Which is why I think it was an answering call as opposed to an original call. But that being said, hello little tree squirrel, that being said, my ear could have been off this morning as well, and it could very well have been this male up here. But I don't know, I'm feeling like there's 2. Kylie, good question. You want to know how often do roads have to be fixed? So Kylie, after that rain we had last night, and then the roads are like this, they're going to wait for them just to get slightly warm, slightly hard, and then they'll go through and there'll be some roads that they'll fix. If you try and fix roads in the dry season when there's been no rain, it doesn't function very well. You're scraping off a lot of the topsoil that you actually need. And so it happens often during the rainy season, a couple times a month maybe, and then during the dry season in general they're sort of left. This would be more of a scraping. In the dry season, if we need to do any work with any of the roads, we fix tires on the back of vehicles, and it's called dragging, and that's just to sort of even them out without taking too much away. Now when we get to Biffleshoek Dam here, sometimes we get a little funny signal at the corner. So I'm not going to stop too much at the dam. I'm going to try and get across the dam wall so that we don't lose any of you this early morning. I really feel like no gremlins today. That's another hope of mine. Oh, well, I'm hoping no gremlins, I say, and then unfortunately the Mara has some gremlins. Go away, gremlins, go away. But that's okay, you still have us. Ferg and I are very happy. We just went through a cloud of winged owlites. They're everywhere. I can feel one inside my shirt, unfortunately, which happens. It's going to be very bumpy through here. Not picking up any more tracks. Katie, you're asking if it's strange to go to a city after a... Oh, Teddy, not Katie, sorry. Teddy, you are asking if it's strange to go... Sorry, there's cobwebs everywhere. Strange to go to the city after stints in the bush. Teddy, I avoid cities at all costs. When I was away recently, I went down to Nelspruit, which I guess you can call a city, and it's not very large, but it's way too big for me. And after a few days there, I was very much done. I probably go to Joburg once a year. It's not, I'm not a big city person, and I do struggle with it, Teddy. The smells, especially because we live out in such a clean environment. I get to within a sort of hour of Joburg, and you can actually smell the city smells because it's lots of big buildings. There's a lot more cars. Yeah, it is weird, and definitely not my favorite thing to do. Now that being said, Cape Town I can handle for a couple of days, and the reason why I can handle Cape Town for a couple of days is Cape Town's laid out in a way that there's a lot of really nice areas to just be able to walk around because you're right on the edge of the ocean there, so it's visually pleasing nature-wise, and then the types of buildings they have are not too tall. They're quite short buildings to allow for nice views, and then you've got Table Mountain and you've got Lion's Head. So Cape Town I can do for a while, and then also, you can do Cape Town proper, and then you can get out into the winelands very quickly. Nikki says she's so excited. Nikki, put me in your suitcase. Nikki and Scott are going to Cape Town, and I'm jealous. I haven't been there in forever. All right. No lions here. No hippo here, but it's pretty light. Okay, we're still on our search. Now, I hope everyone's okay driving around like this, because remember, if today is going to be a very hot day, this coolness that we're feeling now is only going to last for so long. So I really want to try and do the best I can with these Burmese for as long as we can, and who knows, maybe we get them and maybe we don't. Maybe Tristan James are lucky enough to have them pop up this afternoon. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, Joy, you're curious to know how large is the area that I am, and Happy New Year, Joy. So, Joy, I couldn't tell you necessarily in miles, but I can give you in hectares and then acres, and then I'm sure, because you're all watching from a computer, one of you can do the conversion to kilometers squared or miles squared, whatever you need to do. So Joy, the area I'm traversing right now is roughly 1,500 hectares, which is going to be 1 hectare is 2.2 acres. So it's going to be about 4,000 acres, roughly. It's actually just under, but let's just say that. So then you can put that into the conversion thing, and that will give you the miles squared that you need. As far as a traverse goes, and I know Scott talks about this a little bit every now and then, as far as a traverse goes, if I were to have full-time guests, it would be a very small traverse, meaning guests that come and pay and stay here. But for us, for what we do, it's a nice traverse. Look, it is frustrating sometimes that I can't get over to Biffle's Hook to keep following those lion tracks, but Aubrey can be over there. We've got Shaw that's on drive, so they always help, and then eventually they will come back. For us, what we do, this works really well. Our Vuyatela, our Djuma property and our Chitwa property, because we are going to, right now we're not stopping for little small things because we're trying to get the big things that are going to go and lay down or possibly move out of our area at the moment. But there's a lot that's happening here. We have a lot of leopard activity. The lions come through, as you know. Wild dogs come and hang out for a while. We have resident elephants that move in and out. The buffalo come sort of every now and then. And then unmentionables are always around. So there's good stuff going. One of the other properties that I've worked on is 75,000 hectares, which is roughly 180,000 acres, which is huge, huge, huge. It's the 4th largest national park with Big 5 in South Africa. Ooh, we might be able to hear frogs. Stand by one. And of course, as I pull up, they stop croaking. Come, frogs, croak. He was calling and then he stopped. Oh, there we go. Nikki's challenging Ferg to find the frog. He's over in the grass. So just to give you guys an idea, Ferg and I drove past here yesterday and this was dry, as in bone dry. There, you can hear him nicely now. Can we hear him there? Oh, we've got dragonflies depositing their eggs as well. Beautiful. All right. A little bit of frog noises, a little bit of dragonflies. I think one of my favorite amphibians to hear in the bush is a banded rubber frog. Can you do that sound of the banded rubber frog, Ferg? I can't roll my R's. I have trouble with it. Anyway, it goes on and on and on and on and on. And we were talking about venoms versus poisons yesterday. A banded rubber frog is poisonous. So if you lick him or eat him, you're going to get sick. He's black and red and sometimes black and yellow. Very cool frog. Well, Handsome Hunky, you're curious to know if there's crocodiles in Biffle's Hook Dam. I haven't personally seen crocs in there. That doesn't mean that they can't be there. It is a water body. They will be able to access it. Crocs can walk across land. But yeah, I haven't seen any there. Most of the crocs that I've seen personally here in our Traverse area are at Chitwa Dam. But that being said, I was on a bushwalk many years ago. We came up to a small little pan, just a little bit bigger than that one we were looking at now. And I guess we're like, oh, there could be crocs in here. And just as I was about to say it's unlikely, one head popped up from the middle, and we were far away from any other water. It was, yeah, I was like, okay, well, everyone can just back on up now. We'll carry on. They can launch themselves twice their own body length, so it's precarious when that happens. Yeah, I just want to, oh, we can try from here. We've got these winged owlites moving around. Sorry. Shawl, just confirm he's still moving west on the northern side of Biffle's cut line. Copy that. How close to the cut line are you? Okay, copy, thanks. I'm going to keep shadowing you. Guys, that lion, that Birmingham male, is 500 meters, so half a kilometer in, still moving west. I really feel like we might get a visual. I would like to try our best to keep shadowing the movement of that male lion in case either the one male comes up that I think is still inside of here or he comes down. I hope you're all good with that decision. Hope you all are enjoying these winged owlites that Ferg is finding you on this termite mound as well. When we came up this side, there was a hornbill feeding on them, but of course you went up. There's an ant. It's not a termite. Sometimes you'll see ants also working on side of these termite mounds. All right, everybody. The gremlins have attacked the Mara to a huge extent, so you're going to be with me, and we're going to keep looking for, well, keep hoping this Birmingham male comes over and keep looking for the other one that I'm convinced is around. Oh, very cool, Ferg. The winged owlite that's been caught by these ants. Thanks, Allie. I'm also enjoying the scenery drive. I love a scenery drive. There's beautiful colors that are happening now, and little things like stopping here and getting these ants, catching these winged owlites it's fun. The frogs are fun. Oh, it's just a really, really beautiful day. So Dale, you're saying that the water's making your heart sing. Dale, it's also making my heart sing. So sunshine, blue sky, and the fact that we had rain last night and the water stuck, all happy, happy, happy days. And Lady Starfire, you're curious to know how long will that water stay in that little pan there? Lady Starfire, as long as we keep getting bouts of rain, it'll stay there for the whole rainy season. But if what happened before happens again now, where we go sort of 2 weeks without any proper rain, it'll dry up, especially with days like today that are very hot. Ferg, you're really getting the macro down today. Busy. So one of the reasons why these ants are so busy is because all that rain we had last night, and one of the reasons why we're getting so much action with these winged owlites, these flying termites, is because it rained and then it was dark, and then now is pretty much the time when, as the sun's coming up, where they still feel that they've got some ability to have some activity here. So it's going to be a feeding frenzy with the birds as long as they keep doing this. All right. I'm going to pop back onto the cut line because I feel like they've... Ooh. Bobby, you're asking if these are drop-tailed, and Bobby, of all the presenters that are on Safari Live, I am probably the least knowledgeable about ants themselves. It's something I'm picking up tidbits from Tristan and James and Steph as we go along. I couldn't honestly tell you. I'm sure that Is it Nikki saying that she thinks it looks like the ants that James showed you all the other day that he called a drop-tailed ant? I'm just noticing that a lot of them have their back ends sort of tucked in a little bit. The drop-tailed ants, I've always seen it's been up, but that would make sense. So yeah, I think we can go with that for now, unless there's someone else up there who has really studied the ants with James and Steph and Tristan and have a different opinion. I'm so very, very willing to deflect to that. All right, we're going back up onto the cut line for the main reason is that I think Shaw said that he can see this male lion, and I just want to see if it's possibly, we were coming past this little dam that's just up here, and I feel like that might be roundabouts where, because they were talking about little Gowrie cut line, which is just over here. Ooh. Julie, you're asking about tarantulas. Julie, we have something similar. We've got baboon spiders, which are very tarantula-like. This would actually be a good morning to try and find one that's crawling around. They don't build a web. They dig holes down into the ground. They live inside these holes, and then they wait to catch things out of there. But they'll also go moving about. They're absolutely stunningly beautiful, and they're endangered as well. You can get a 200,000 Rand fine for being caught with them without a permit. And they're also endangered because of the fact that they only have these little, I'm going to call them diggers for lack of a better word right now, at the end of their pedipalps here for digging those holes. You must tell me if you think I should keep driving. Okay. Sorry, we've just hit that funny little patch. Sorry for those breakups there, but here we go. We've got a beautiful elephant bull that's coming through, and then that male lion, I can't see him, but he is to our north, just somewhere here. So those baboon spiders can only dig those holes for a few years, and then they lose the ability to be able to do that. So when you get a lot of construction, or you're building up strip malls or anything like that, or too many housing developments, it compromises where these spiders live. So that's one of the reasons why those baboon spiders are having such a hard time. Hello, Mr. Elephant. All right, so we were incorrect. It wasn't going to be a leopard. It wasn't going to be a lion. We, in fact, our first large, charismatic mammal that we're seeing is an elephant, and I'm happy with an elephant. Now, where I am, I can't really go backwards because we're going to lose signal. I can eventually go forward, but because he's walking in our direction, we're just going to sit here and let him walk towards us and work the camera angles as best as we can for you to see him. He's smelling something along the way as he walks. Could possibly be us. Could possibly be other elephants, although I don't see any tracks. Could possibly be those lions. Alright, it sounds like that Birmingham male is just a little bit too far in and he's stationary at the moment. I think we're going to stick with our Ellie for a little bit, and then I think unfortunately we're going to have to stop following this particular Burmese, and I think what we'll do is we'll go look for Thandi, and we might just bump into that other Burmese. You never know. But this male elephant's going to come up nicely. Kitty kitty bang bang, you're curious to know if I worked with wildlife in the U.S. I left the U.S. when I was 21. So I left. I finished university a little bit early, and then I picked up and I left. I didn't work with wildlife really before then, but we had a rule in our house that if it was a nice day, which happened often, even if it was snowing, it could still be a nice day, we were not allowed to be in the house. We had to be outside all the time. And then when I was young, we had a horse for a little while, and then we always had cats and dogs. So I had wildlife like that. So my love of doing what I do actually doesn't necessarily come from a love of wildlife itself. It just comes from a love of nature and from a love of being outdoors and from the fact that I can't sit still and I don't do well working at a desk. And if being inside with fluorescent lights makes me want to cry. So a mixture of that. And I also started working in hospitality when I was 14, doing odd jobs like working at B&Bs and all of that. Hello, my boy. Are you going to come say hello to us? It's his Happy New Year's hello. And so guiding fits everything. I get to be outside and be in hospitality, and it works with my ADD and then we get moments like this where a big male elephant walks up the road, comes right up next to us, smells us a little bit, and then just carries on. It's incredible. And then something else that's really great about doing this is teaching people about wildlife, because conservation needs to make money. Like, this elephant can only survive here because there's guests that come and stay on these properties, and therefore there's a monetary amount that's been put on here. So part of my amazing job is to be able to teach everyone what I know, so that there will someday hopefully be one or two people that can carry on and keep all of this going. I certainly don't have the funds for it. I'm going to try and pull forward a little bit. And then that's what's great about working for Safari Live, because the platform's much larger. There we go. Hello, Big Bum. So reaching a lot of people, teaching a lot of people about all of this and how amazing it is. And then off he goes. How amazing was that elephant encounter, everybody? And then off. Okay. I think let's go see Madam Thandi. I just need everyone to bear with me. There's this funny little patch for maybe 50 meters that can sometimes be a little bit interesting with our signal. I just need you all to hold your thumbs. The gremlins can stay away, and I'll just move through it as quickly as I can. It's okay, Nikki.
And good morning, everybody, and welcome aboard once more here in the Mara Greater Reserve, or the Greater Mara Reserve. We've been heading out very early this morning, trying to see what we can find along these drainage lines. You're watching Safari Live. My name is Ralph Kirsten, and on the camera we have Manu. How's it, Manu? Yes, and a happy New Year's to everybody. Welcome aboard the very first game drive of the year. And I can tell you that for the first game drive of the year, it's been a little bit quiet, but never fear. I'm sure the animals are going to start showing themselves a little bit later. Please don't forget to join us on the hashtag Safari Live on Twitter and on the YouTube live chat. There's some very lucky customers that have got out on the first day of 2018, overlooking the whole of the Greater Mara region from that lovely viewpoint up high. Now, yesterday afternoon, we were bogged down with quite a lot of rain. There was a massive cloud burst, and so it was a little bit difficult for us to get out on the slippery roads. And it's still a little bit overcast this morning. You can see that it has been raining a lot. And there's a buffalo behind the termite mound. It's one of the first animals that we've seen coming out this morning. A little bit of a slow start, but I'm sure we're going to be finding all sorts as we go along today. And Manu was telling me that once more, the last time he was here, it was full of game. But that's interesting to note how the population changes. So it seems it's also been a bit of a slow start in Djuma. I wonder, all the animals are taking their vacation today, I think. But I'm sure we'll catch up with a lot of them as the day wears on. And you can see a very grey sky that we're still faced with, but it seems to be opening up a little bit, and the sun poking through behind us. So thank you everybody for wishing us Happy New Year's. We wish all the same to all our viewers and everybody out there. Thanks for joining us once again on the biggest game drive in the world. Don't forget, we're coming to you live from the Masai Mara in Kenya, just 1 degree south of the equator. And I think we're going to get going a little bit, move on, see what we can find along this drainage line. It's very interesting, and just beware as we drive along. These roads are very slippery, so sometimes it might seem like we're going sideways. Well, we actually are. So don't worry, I'll put in my diff lock if we start to drift a bit, and hopefully that should keep us going straight. But it's quite like a rallycross as you drive on these roads. Very clayey, especially down near these drainage lines. A little bit further up away from them, a bit more sandy and a little bit more grip. But the area we want to frequent is a little bit more difficult to drive on. And that's generally the story, isn't it? The best places are a little bit more difficult to get to. So we'll just do our best and see what we can find on this wonderful, beautiful morning. It's probably around 15 to 18 degrees centigrade. It's probably higher 60s degree Fahrenheit. So just so that you understand how we're feeling now, rather fresh. And I see another vehicle on the other side of this drainage line. So maybe there is some animals there. So we're going to go and have a look. But after the rain especially, we need to be very careful when going through these little drainage lines. There will be lots of water and lots of mud. So I've engaged everything here, low range, diff lock. And we'll go for third gear, not to spin too much. Hold on. Okay, we're going back. Manu, hold on. Okay, that was take one, folks. Luckily we made it out the back. Now, not out of the woods just yet, folks.
Oh my goodness, good morning morning, everyone. Look at those terrible gremlins. Here I thought that 2018 was going to be slightly different. Apparently not. My name is Taylor McCurdy, and on camera with me today is Archie. And we're driving around in the Masai Mara National Reserve looking for cheetah, looking for lions, looking for all sorts of things, which is what I don't know what I've just seen. What was it? It is a Thompson's gazelle behind us that look very much like a cheetah. I love those. Right, so far this morning we have already seen lion tracks. Very exciting stuff. We have seen a beautiful... Actually, I have to show you. Stand by a minute here. Look at this. This is what we woke up to this morning. It was really amazing. So, for those of you that have just joined us, this is a live show. This is happening right now. Which one is the best one? I like this one. But look... dirty. Look how beautiful that is. Now, apologies for my photography, and now my screen's a little bit on the dirty side, but you get the gist of it. Look at the colors of the sky, and then there's awesome zebra there, just slightly silhouetted. It was the most gorgeous morning. It was a great way to start 2018. Very cool, hey? Right, let's carry on. I don't know where the cheetah have gone, but I'm never able to find them after they've disappeared. I also don't know if they're hunted. I went to the last spot that we had them, which was just behind us, but no luck. And I know the cheetah are the kings of double backing. Right, now I'm just checking for tracks to see if I can see a footprint every now and then I think we're going to head back towards Hammerkop in that area. I know these cheetah often do a loop, and then we spend most of our time searching here and they're not even around. Right, Bethany, you're wondering what is my favorite part of being a guide? Everything about it, really. I don't think I can choose just one thing. The fact that I get to spend every single day out in the field is pretty amazing. I mean, who wants an office job when you can do something like this? So that's pretty cool. And 4x4ing. I've already been slipping and sliding like you have no idea. It was so much fun. On an old cattle pathway, where there was a 2-track as well, but obviously with the big migrations when they are moving the cows from one area to another, and this is thousands and thousands of them, and they're scarred all through the Masai Mara in particular and in the triangle. Anyways, and I was sliding on one of those, so that's quite fun to do. I don't know, seeing all the animals, meeting amazing people from all over the world. Obviously we don't meet as many people now in person. We're talking to all of you. But yeah, I don't know, there's obviously good things and bad things about being a guide. There's definitely a lot more good things. They outweigh the negatives, that's for sure. Right. Now, Teddy, you asked this question to Noelle with regards to do I like going to cities or do I feel strange going into cities, and then Noelle said she didn't like it. Not my favorites, but I can go to the city. I like to shop. I like to do all those things too. I like to get out of khaki. So that's quite nice, and go and eat at fancy restaurants and have sushi and all those lunch dates. Can do that quite easily. But I do prefer the bush. Not my vibe. I don't think I will enjoy Nairobi too much. But again, it's all about, I keep myself in the time. And can no longer survive, and then
yeah. Hello everybody, and sorry about that, but please remember that there is still a little bit of iffy weather around, if we can say that. We often say that in South Africa. If the weather's turned bad, we can say it's a little bit iffy, and well, that's exactly what it is this morning. But look what we've spotted on the other side of this drainage line, a beautiful male lion. Now, we are quite far away from him, so we're thinking that we're going to double back, and we're going to find a road going across this drainage line and get a little bit closer to him. It's a beautiful morning for it, and I'm sure he might be a little bit active, and we can see him with the lovely short grass. And it seems that there were a few viewers worried that I was stuck in that drainage line. Well, never fear, I have driven a few 4x4s in my life, and I do like to get into the muddy, thick stuff, but I think we're going to have to go through a little bit of that to get to that individual lion over there. So there's more fun coming up, folks. Hold on. Put your seatbelts on, because it's going to be a bumpy ride. And it's always good to remember that when you're on these muddy roads, you don't want to take too much of a high gear, because it's very much like snow, very much like soft sand. It's quite slippery. Darla, you're wondering how many is the maximum number of females in a pride of lions, I would say. Well, Darla, it's normally the biggest prides that I've seen has been 30 plus, and in that pride of lions, and that was in the Okavango Delta, and so the largest pride that I know, there's been 25 females plus in that group, and with 5 large males in a coalition. So I think that it's almost unlimited, the amount of females that you can have in a pride. It all depends on how well they can feed all those mouths. But the possibilities are endless if you have a good coalition of males that are protecting that territory or looking after that area, and very stable, not nomadic males coming in and out. Then I think the chances of the females growing in numbers stands to be quite high. So that, Darla, to answer your question, I think the possibilities are endless, but generally it's normally between 5 and 15 or so females. So that's probably your average. Oopsie, that's what I said. We're going to go sideways here, but so your average group size would probably be between 5 and 15. James, you've just commented that I got you the first cat of 2018. Well, I did briefly, James. Let's go and get nice and close to him, and then we'll class it as a proper sighting. For now, it was just a fleeting across the other side of the river, and I'm just looking for a nice, decent crossing point on this drainage line, and then we're going to scoot on over to see where that male has gone. And it's quite easy to see in this kind of terrain, very flat, well, not flat, it's quite undulating, but very short and low grass, so nice, easy visibility. So, and just get the feeling of it's very fresh now after the rain has fallen, and very crisp, fresh smell to it as well. Now, Ori Mariana, you're wondering, and very good question, is there such a thing as a lone lioness? Yes, I've seen this a number of times where a female, for whatever reason, she must have had a domestic tiff with some of the other females, maybe quite a dominant female or a dominant character that didn't quite get along with the dominance within the pride females, and has actually broken away on her own entirely. And it very often starts, or I've found when I've witnessed it, around when that particular female that has broken away has got little cubs of her own. And then I've always seen with a single female going off like that, that the pride males actually do go and visit her, almost like accepting that she's decided to go on her own, but they still accept her as part of the group, even though she's solitary. And then I've seen this small group continue to grow with her little cubs, and then almost making like a new breakaway pride of her own. And I think that's possibly what's happened with the Marsh breakaway pride. Maybe one female decided to move off, and possibly a second one followed her. But that kind of scenario does happen quite frequently, and I've seen it quite regularly. So that's one of those ways, I think, that actually prides establish themselves or break away and start new prides. Alright folks, so we're going to just go through this drainage line, and because there's very little signal, we're going to send you all the way down on south, 1,600 miles to Noel in Djuma, who I think is also trying to find some cats.
Happy New Year, Ralph. Happy New Year, Taylor. Sorry you guys are getting beat up by those gremlins a little bit, but that lion's fantastic. I hope you get another view. I am busy. Sorry, hold on. Ah, okay, that's not for us, sorry. The guys are just chit-chatting about some alarm calling, and I'm busy following up on a track of wild dog that Ferg and I found mixed in with some hyena tracks. So we're actually up here by Quarantine again. We were on our way to go see Thandi, and then one of the Biffleshooks guys is busy trying to help us here. So he was talking about alarm calls, but it's not for us, and it's not close to here. So I'm retracing some of our steps. Sorry, I just want to go back and look at those. Because of the fact that, as you know, wild dogs move very, very, very quickly. Sorry, I need to get out of the car and look at this one because this track's a little bit funny. It is a hyena. Oh my goodness, Herbie, I have to back the car up. Can you see the track there, Ferg? A little bit. Let me go back. Herbie's always telling me about this one hyena that lives around here who has, instead of having 2 lobes on one of its back feet, it has 3 lobes. And I've just found it now, and I have to show it to all of you. I just want to move the car around. Okay, this is so very interesting. Okay, so you can see, where's my little stocky? You can see the claw marks here, yeah? Just here. And then when you come back into the pad, can you see this? It's 3 lobes. 1, 2, 3. A normal hyena back track will go like this, and then the toes come up, half moon, and then front toe, front toe. This one has 3 lobes. Oh, that's so crazy. He's been telling me about it, and I haven't found it. And there we go. It's the abnormal hyena track. Very, very cool. And it's not the wild dog we're looking for, or Madam Thandi. Absolutely crazy. Okay. So, wild dogs, that would be a nice little Happy New Year to everybody gift. But it's also one of those things that because there was so much rain and there's so much demarcating that's going to be happening with a lot of the predators, and also possibly some hunting that happened in the rain and thunder and wind, that we might end up with a scenario where we get lots of visuals, and we might end up with a scenario where we do quite a lot of tracking. It's our hyenas again. Now, the back foot of a hyena can sometimes resemble very closely a wild dog. So every set of tracks I get, I have to keep an eye out for what it is. Now, I think it sounds as if Ralph... Ooh, no, not Ralph. It sounds as if Taylor has an exciting surprise for all of you. So I think let's head back up to the Mara while I'm busy tracking this side, so that you all can have the best gift other than wild dogs that you could have on a New Year's morning for 2018.
Is she talking to us? Are we live? Yeah. Oh, I have no comms. I'm sorry, everybody. Apologies for that. I have absolutely no communication whatsoever. My cable has now deteriorated. But here we sit with D'Artagnan, one of the musketeers of the Fast Five. And all of them have climbed up that little shrub. Well, it was actually a tree that's pushed over, and they've all defecated and urinated on it. Nikki, while we sit here, do you think you can just maybe count to 5 for me? I just want to try and get some comms somehow. Now he's urine spraying up against this tree, so Archie's going to have to talk to me. Somebody's going to have to talk to me so I can try and sort this out. I had no idea you guys were going to come to me. But there's a few vehicles starting to gather now. There we go. Now I can hear. Sorry, everybody, about that. What a nightmare. There we go. Thank you, Nikki. I can hear you now. Yeah, I'm so sorry, everybody. It's just explained. It's basically what happens is because we're out in the field constantly, these cables and wires and whatever they are pick up a lot of dust. They pick up all sorts of things, and unfortunately their lifespan doesn't last like they should, as you can imagine. So we have found the musketeers. All 5 of them are here, which is quite exciting. Apparently they've already eaten something. There's another film crew that I was telling you about, I think before the gremlins got me. And oh wow, this could be quite nice. Let's see if they walk in front where the balloons are. That could be very nice. You'll just see a couple of cars passing by here and there. But there we go, that's going to be amazing. Look at them. Look how cool that is. On a roll. They don't have big bellies though, just a little bit of food inside them, just enough to keep them going. I'm not sure what they're going to get up to today, but they might go and have a rest now. They might look for a shady spot. I'm not so sure. Oh my goodness, my comms are not working properly. I can hear it every now and then. So they're doing a lot of scent marking at the moment. That seems to be the trend this morning. I don't know where they've made their kill though, and I also don't know what they killed. With small bellies like that, I wonder if it wasn't something like a Thompson's gazelle that they caught, and they all just got a small mouthful. I'm so glad we came around this way because I had no idea where they were going to be, and we've just caught them in their double up. It's not my earpiece. Oh, okay, I'll sort it out later. Sorry, Archie, we'll do that when we're off air. There we go, you're going to see a couple more cars. I'm just trying to think where they're going to go. They're probably going to do exactly what they did yesterday, in the sense that they're going to cross the lugger and go back to the same point. We're a little bit further away, a little bit further north from where we were yesterday. And they're going to head back to their normal spots, into the Hammerkorp area. Let's go. There are going to be lots of cars coming in now. Of course, we're going to start gathering. So I'm just going to go up and around and try and jump past all the cars again and get on the other side. Right. Actually, let's see, depending where that car, no, I think that other car is going to go in front of them and watch them walk towards them, so that won't work for us. So, we will take... Right, let's have one last look. And we'll try and stick with these cheetahs. I want to try and get Ralph to come down here so he can also have a look, because I know he's been wanting to see them. So let me try at some point to get hold of Manu or Ralph and send them our location so they know where to come. I don't think they're far away. And speaking of Ralph, while we get around the other side of this lugger, I'm going to send you back across to him and see how those lions are doing.
Thank you, Taylor. And folks, just as we've come onto the other side of that little drainage line, we've lost sight of this male lion, so we've decided just to come up a little bit, get a bit of height, and see if we can spot where he moved off to. We did see that he was heading in a southerly direction, so we're just trying to cover all our bases and see where he's gone. We don't see him for the minute, and there, as Manu pans across, you will see where we were on the other side of that drainage line. Now, it's incredible how such a big and iconic animal can just disappear. Well, he's given us the slip for now, but we're not going to give up. We're going to keep looking, and we're going to hopefully find him. So, where did he go? Remember, like we did the other day, we need to be thinking like a lion. What was he up to? I think in such a fresh morning like that, I would probably be wanting to go and mark my territory with the rain last night, having washed all my hard earned spray areas down, so now we'd have to walk around and do them all over again. But that would probably be what's on his mind this morning, I think, unless he hasn't eaten for a while. But he looked in good nick, and I'm sure he would be marking as he goes, just re-establishing his smells nice and fresh after the rain. Also got Manu in the back with his eagle eyes looking out for me, helping me, because the roads have been very slippery, so I do need to concentrate on the road sometimes. And so Manu's really doing a good job of being my second pair of eyes at the back. He's a little bit raised as well, so he does have a good point of view. But for the minute, this lion has given us the slip. Where could he have gone? You see, we were a bit too quick to say that we had the first lion of 2018, or the first cat. Seems now Taylor has that. But we did have a long distance visual, nonetheless. And there's gazelle just up from us here that are very relaxed, so it doesn't seem like he's gone anywhere near them, because they would be quite jittery and all be looking and probably alarm calling towards him. And look at that, folks, it's just a wonderful vista, beautiful colors coming through, and the sun is giving us lovely colors. And now all we need to do is find this male lion. But we've checked up top now, we've eliminated that. And let's go down a little bit lower. Maybe we'll pick up on some of his tracks, and that will be very good, because once we get his tracks and see which direction he was moving in, it would be a lot easier to find him. And there's rufous-naped larks calling, doing that. Here on the plains, there's also the odd crowned lapwing making a bit of noise. Also the wattled lapwings, not quite as noisy as the crowned lapwings, but they do make a bit of noise nonetheless. So it's not ultimately quiet, but it's not very noisy at the moment. Let's see. What do we have in front there? So he was near to this tree that when we were on the other side of the drainage line. So that's why we've come right back here. And it did seem like he was moving in a southerly direction. But we've now done a loop. Spectra, thanks for your agreement. Thank you for confirming it, because sometimes all of these trees start to look the same. But thanks for confirming that the line was near that tree, but then it was heading in a southerly direction. Now we've checked on a big loop. Maybe he just went up a little bit, and when we weren't watching, turned around and went back down towards the river line. But as I say, for now, he's given us the slip. I wonder, Manu, if we need to go along a little bit longer, just to see if he hasn't gone along the drainage line, just to eliminate that. And after that, we will continue in a westerly direction along this drainage line, because then we've eliminated this whole area, and then we would head down the river line and see if he's maybe continued that way. There were also quite a few vehicles in quite a hurry to go in that direction, but I saw them leaving the lion, so I'm not sure if there's potentially some cheetah in the area, or maybe a bigger pride or group of lions. But all very exciting that we could spot a male lion to start with. But now we just need to find him so that we can get some nice close-up visuals. Oh, hello. Is that lion tracks? I can't really stop, you know, once you lose momentum in this mud, you can quite easily get stuck. So you sometimes, especially once it's a little bit softer like these roads, you need to keep going. Trista, thanks for your comment, saying you thought, or they say that Florida is flat, but the Mara looks like it's been ironed. It does indeed, doesn't it? Especially when it's been grazed very low like this too. It does give you that ironed, flat feeling. But that gives us at least an opportunity to be able to see quite long distances, be able to spot the cats and the plains game and the giraffe and the elephant quite a bit easier than you would in Djuma, for instance. There's some giraffe tracks, so that's not what we're looking for. I don't think we're going to go through this drainage line, we're just going to head towards it. As you can see, we're drifting sideways and sideways. It's quite entertaining driving in this kind of conditions, but it's also a little bit nerve-wracking because we don't particularly want to get stuck. We want to keep moving, and I think we're going to be spinning around here and then heading to the line. So I think we've now eliminated. I'll check again as we go for any line tracks as we do a little bit of a turn here. And you'll see some mud spraying up the sides every now and then as well. There we go. Try and get back in the same track. At least there it's the track is a little bit more compact. So we try and stay in where there's fresh tracks. Always the best. And you want to try and stay in a lower gear so that your wheels don't spin. You want to stay on the lowest revs possible. Okay, folks, so we're going to do our best as we continue going down this drainage line. I really do want to find this male lion. I hope that he hasn't given us the slip, but while we try and find some more clues and get closer to where he's disappeared to, let's head you on over to Taylor with those 5 musketeers.
We're still hot on their heels, and I think they're just going to eventually look for a spot to sit and rest for most of the day. I don't think that they're going to get up to too much more hunting, because they've walked past quite a bit of game already this morning and not showing much interest at all, sitting down, standing up, marking territories. So I think they're quite happy with the meal that they received, well, that they caught. They didn't receive it. No one brought it to them in a plastic container. Well, they're going to come down towards us. They might actually walk straight towards the car, in fact, which will be really, really quite nice. I'm so sorry. There's something really wrong with my comms, so it's not coming through very clearly. Maybe what the best bet you can do is WhatsApp me some questions, and then I'll go through them at some point. But unfortunately, this communication thing is not really working today, so we're going to have to make a plan for this afternoon. Boys, where are you off to? There's a nice clump trees coming up. I wonder if they aren't going to go and sit themselves down there somewhere. It'll be quite nice, but they're approaching the car now. They're so close to us. They're only a couple of meters away, which is really amazing to be face to face with 5 male cheetah. It's pretty spectacular. Whether I'll ever experience something like this again, I'm not so sure. We were talking about how it isn't very common to have such large groups of male cheetah together. You know, normally it's 2 or 3, but to have 5 is pretty spectacular, and they're doing a really, really good job. They dominate this area, but always so nervous, constantly looking over their shoulder. A couple of zebra alarming that he turned his head and looked back at. There's some of the other safari cars, all having a wonderful time. Looks like they all got an equal amount of food as well, so maybe it was something bigger than Thompson's gazelle, maybe slightly larger. Although, I'm just thinking, a male would be a nice meal. Now, whenever I see cheetah with big bulging bellies, like I said, these guys don't look too big, but I have seen it a few times, especially down in the southern sands, where they look like those cartoons. I don't know if you remember the cartoons, if animals were fat or animals ate fast food, something along those lines. So that was quite funny. This cheetah's stomach was almost touching the ground, dragging it along the bottom. Right, I still haven't succeeded in finding out where Ralph is, as I have not much cell phone reception either. So I'm going to climb to the top of the hills in the direction that these cheetah are going. Noelle, however, has got a very, very cute surprise for the first day of 2018, and I think you're all going to absolutely love it.
Well, Taylor, thank you so much for your cheetah surprise, and Ralph for your lion surprise. And then everybody, here is the 3rd big cat we get in sub-Saharan Africa. This is a leopard, and this is Thandi. And we have found her, and she's at her old den site, and we did get a brief visual of the cub. It's just scampered away back to its little hole. So we are on the backside from where you can see that hole. Thandi's not in a horrible mood, but she's letting us know that she needs some space today. So where we parked for our special Christmas sighting, we're not going to be able to park there, but there's another access to where she is where we will eventually get around. What I want to do is I'm just going to sit here and we're going to film for a bit, and I'm going to talk the way that I'm talking, and I'm just going to let her relax. Thandi, it's 2018. We love you, and we love your little one, and everyone will be so happy to be able to see your little cub. So I think what we're going to do, everybody, we tried very hard for the Burmese this morning. That wild dog track is so heavily mixed in with hyena tracks that I really am having trouble getting direction on it. It seems like a little bit more east. And I think one of the reasons why Thandi is having a little bit of a moment, you can't see it now, but as we pulled in, she just let us know she needed more space, is because of the amount of hyena activity. That wild dog would have possibly come past here. So she's probably been hounded a bit. But how gorgeous is she? And she's very full, possibly from that Steenbok that you saw her with yesterday with Scott. Or actually, I'm not sure if we ended up seeing her specifically with the Steenbok kill, but I do know that Scott had that Steenbok kill, and then when he came back, he got that brief sighting of her and the little one. And then last night before we had to close down due to lightning, oh, there's the cub's head, Ferg, right behind her. There. Oh, it just went down. Don't worry. There, it's poking up now. No. I'm gonna, there it is. Yes! There's your screenshot for 2018, everybody. Oh, I'm so excited. I can't even handle it. Okay, I'm gonna go into whispers now, because obviously everyone's relaxed a little bit, and the cub's relaxed enough to come up. Oh, I'm so excited. I can't even look. There's your screenshot. I lied before. Oh my goodness. Happy 2018. Epic. Absolutely epic. Thank you, Thandi. Thank you, Thandi. See, that's the face. Now, what's interesting about that face is some of that has to do with us. Some of it has to do with the fact that she was hounded hectically with the hyena. So, less to do with us, more to do with the hyena. And then also, that cub has very sharp claws and very sharp teeth. So when it's climbing around Mum, when she's perched like that, it's not always comfortable for her. So I don't want anyone to think that we're going to end up in a scenario where Thandi doesn't want us here. I just need you all to be aware of the differences in her behavior. Now, she could end up getting annoyed and deciding that her bubble needs to be much bigger from where we are, and she will let us know that. She's not doing that at the moment right now. She's just full, and it rained, and it was hectic, and there was hyenas, and then now we found her. She's not hiding anymore. But if she really didn't want us here when we first pulled in, she would have told us immediately. So I don't want anyone to have an unsure moment. Just be aware. James, you're saying big cat trifecta success. James, indeed. Big cat trifecta success indeed. Look at that little cub just there by her tail. Now you see how she's calmed down a bit more after the cub stopped climbing on her? You see that? So just, it's very difficult sometimes because we our screen is only so big. And so the things around where I am, we can't always see. So I just want you guys to know that Ferg and I have been doing this for quite a while. I mean, Ferg's been in wildlife photography for, 10 years now, Ferg? 14 years, and I've been guiding going into my 11th year, so we're really good at reading them and reading their behavior and reading the scenarios. And again, you'll see she sort of calmed down a little bit and the cub stopped climbing on her, and now the cub's going to go back up, and so we'll probably get a few more snarls. But also, I mean, can you imagine you've just had your, I don't know, just pick a holiday dinner, and you're really full, and you're lying on your sofa, and your little 2-year-old keeps jumping on you. Yeah, the feet are huge. Hey, good call, Nikki. I'm wondering if maybe we'll be able to do a little bit of sexing today. Oh my goodness, look at that. Okay. I can't even deal. I'm so excited, everybody, and I'm so happy you're just as excited as I am. The thought we had about maybe having to go around to the other side, I think as long as this cub is climbing around and doing what it's doing right now, we have such a beautiful little spot here. I think we're going to stick here for a while. Getting emotional again, everybody, sorry. I think we should just take a moment and just enjoy this. Zephy, you're saying thank you so much for a great end to 2017 and beginning of 2018 for you. Zephyr, you're welcome. Everyone, you're welcome. The cuteness overload is too much right now. I can't decide which sighting I like best. That one we had on Christmas Day or this first one for 20... Oh, look, 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 look. And the light's coming through. The cub's now down into the other part of that hollowed out hole. Oh, Thandi, you beaut, you've done so well. Here we go, everyone. I'm itching for my camera. Tristan might be right. I think it's a girl. Tristan might be right. Oh, look, everybody. You all are going to have 100 screenshots off this sighting. Everyone, I will get into some more factual detail and things like that a little bit later into our sequence, but I think that this is just too much fun and cuteness to watch, that I think we're going to do more of a few more quiet moments here with this, and allow everyone to really, really let it sink in, how special this is. And then we'll start getting into leopards and cubs and Thandi in this one. Absolutely fantastic. So that little one is busy doing some grooming of Mum, and also it seems as if trying to get a little reaction out of Mum. Again, let's think about our scenario of you very full and possibly tired, lying on the couch, and your toddler is busy jumping around on top of you, maybe not even 2 years old. Let's say you've got a 5-year-old, and it's like, Mom, come and play. Mom, come, let's go. Mom, you see that? So that cub jumped on the other side, and Tani's like, oh, I'm so annoyed. And then she sees us, and she's like, now I'm annoyed with everything. Oh, Thandi, it's difficult to be a mother. I'm sorry, my sweetie. So now imagine that she had more than just this one cub. Let's say that she had 2 or 3 cubs. Can you imagine how full her paws would be, her hands would be, with that scenario? It's very difficult to catch any rest, and it's difficult to sort of be your usual lazy leopard self, because you have this you have this little life that just is excited. It's not raining anymore. There's no thunder and lightning. It wants to move around. It wants to be absolutely frantic in its activity, and Mum really, really just wants to rest. Yeah, a lot of you are sending through the comments now where it's looking like a female. I'm with the back end that we saw there. I'm leaning towards that now slightly as well. I just want to, because this cub is still, I think we're just going on to 8 weeks. We're between 7 and 8 weeks. I just want to give it a little bit more time for anything that needs to drop to possibly drop. But yeah, I'm slightly torn myself. I don't know if my bet with Tristan's going to carry on. But we'll have to wait and see. Tris will be here for a week without me, so we'll let him get a few visuals and see if he keeps going with his female. And then when I get back, hopefully we have a bit more a bit more screenshots, a bit more photos, and a bit more sightings, and longer time for this little one to develop into itself as well. Alright, so leopards. Leopards can have anywhere from sort of 2 to 4 cubs. They usually have 2 to 3. And of those cubs, it's very unusual for all of them to survive. We don't know exactly how many cubs Thandi had in the beginning because of where her den was, and we had to close it off because they're so little and we need to give her space. But so we have... we have this one who's currently playing with its mother's tail and having a blast. And again, like we talked about, they'll have sort of 3 dens roughly over the first 3 months. Now, what I'm finding interesting is it looked as if she had moved her den, and then we were chatting about how possibly she's just moving the little one around and bringing kills sort of not too close, not exactly to the den, not a full kill. We have seen little bits and bobs being brought in, and then maybe moving the cub around. But now we're back. Oh, is it going to nurse? Look, it wants to try and nurse. We'll see if Mum lets it. It doesn't look like she's going to let it. And then now we're finding her back at what I would consider the second den site, because the true second den site is 50 meters from where we are. So she seems to really like this area, and this seems to be the area that she's most comfortable in. She's very annoyed with her cub right now. So I think for the foreseeable future, unless something happens, she'll be here. And that's very normal with leopards as they carry on. If they find a spot that they're really comfortable in when the cub's sort of 2 months going on to 3 months, they'll stick in that area. Alright, now I think what we're going to do is we are going to head back up to the Mara, to Rolf, and have a look at a beautiful herd of Ellies. We're not going anywhere. We're going to stick here, and we'll see you all shortly.
Yes, folks, and I think it's from absolute beautiful cuteness with Thandi and her little cub to absolute beauty in the landscape, because here we've got some elephants, but it is making for such an amazing vista and a lovely view. Now we're still on the lookout for that male lion, but we couldn't pass up the opportunity of stopping with this group of elephants, because it was just so beautiful with the landscape and the sun poking through the clouds that we just stop here for a little while and just pause our hunt for that male lion just for a little while and enjoy these elephants. Now, Tina, you're wondering how quickly an elephant's temperament can change. Tina, very quickly. It all depends on why they're changing their temperament. I mean, for instance, if there was a lion lying in the grass as these elephants walked through and they got surprised by him, you would see them very quickly change temperament. Their ears would go out, there'd be some trumpeting going on, and all of them would immediately change body language completely. So they're very much like humans in that sense, that their emotions can change very quickly, and so you do need to be a little bit aware of that when you're near to elephants, because they can be very relaxed and that can change very quickly. But this is a lovely relaxed setting. These elephants are slowly just grazing through. They're picking up some of the little shrubs and grass. So what a wonderful scene this is, and we're not going to stop. We're still hot on the heels of that male lion, and I'm a bit disappointed that we haven't found him yet already. But, well, if we didn't find him, if we had have found him, we wouldn't have found this. So, from one beautiful scene to another, let's send you on down to Noel with Thandi and the cub.
Cheers, Ralph. Thanks so much for that. We all love an Ellie, and I believe Taylor has just really having some gremlins attacking her, unfortunately. But that's okay. We've got Thandi and we have the little cub. Ferg was just commenting just now that she's like a haggard mother. She's really over the amount of energy this cub has at the moment, and you can see she really does just want to rest. Now this cub will eventually tire itself out. It is maybe 9 minutes now to the East Coast in the States New Year's, so I'm hoping that the cub sticks around at least for that, so that anyone that is watching with us for their New Year's Eve celebration, that side gets to have beautiful cute moments to cheers their apple juice to, or non-apple juice, depending on what you're drinking. Look at her. She's finally relaxing. So it's interesting as well where she's chosen this particular den site. It's a hollowed out tree. Obviously it means that the cub can be inside. And then I'm just marveling at the fact that she's found such a spot that also allows her to be comfortable as well. So she can lay on top of the dead log now and be as camouflaged as possible and also rest in the shade. And then when the light starts changing, she can actually just go underneath it, and then she's never too far from her cub when she's around. Sometimes she's a bit more to the left at the older den site, but most of the time that I've seen that we've tried here, this is the spot that she likes to be in. Now I think if we had come here first thing from drive, I don't necessarily think she would have been where she was. I think she has started moving after those hyenas have left. The hyena tracks mixed in that with that one set of wild dog tracks was definitely fresh enough for them to have possibly been here, let's say our first hour of drive, while we were busy looking for that Birmingham male. Which means she either would have been hiding, or she possibly could have been a little bit farther from the den, just trying to detour them away from where this cub is. Now, it would be very difficult for a hyena to get into those crevices, but if the cub was out, that would have been a possibility. And we obviously don't want that to happen, and she obviously doesn't want that to happen as well. But it is a definite and unfortunate part of being a young predator out here in the bush. You have to be so careful of other predators, other leopards, other lions, other hyenas, cheetah, wild dog, but you also, at this age with the small, have to be very careful of things like slender mongoose and birds of prey and snakes as well. Now, I actually haven't seen the cub in a little bit, and I'm wondering if maybe it's tired itself out, or if it's just found some insects to play with inside of that hollowed out log. I think in a little while, because Thandi is now fully relaxed because her cub's not jumping on top of her, we will try and move around to a slightly different spot. But we'll stick here for just now. Maybe next time we go up to the Mara, we'll busy move around and then come back.